Let's just pretend that everything's great and we get a nice vaccine in a little bit, maybe I don't know, a couple months. How quickly does that get into everybody's arms so that everything can, quote unquote, go back to normal? What's the reality of that?
Yeah, that's a great question because that does impact so many things. So phase 3 trials have started for 3 different front runners now. That's very good news. Those trials take months to carry out. You're enrolling between them 120,000 people that will be enrolled and get 2 doses of vaccine for, in most cases here, a month apart. And then you're going to look at antibody response. So once you know that this is safe and effective, and again, that takes months, now you start the manufacturing, the filling, and the distribution process. That takes months. So the reality, to me, unless there's a plan I'm not aware of, is that we're still looking at into the winter time before we have widespread distribution of vaccine.
When do we know, to Alex's great question, if these, immune response, if the antibodies stay with us? I mean, people who've had COVID-19 and have antibodies, we understand that the autoimmune response trails off after 3 weeks. If it's the same, are we going to need a shot similar to flu every year? And does the virus mutate?
Yeah. The answer is probably yes to all of those questions. We know, for example, even in people who have been infected, that by 12 weeks, their antibody levels have fallen 3 to 23-fold. Now, again, that pretends that we know antibody response is going to be the key correlate here, and we don't know that yet, but it is a marker that we can follow. If that's the case, then likely we will need 2 doses initially and then 1 or 2 perhaps every year if this becomes an endemic virus like flu that comes back every fall.
Doctor, what can countries do today to prep for distribution of a vaccine in even 12 months or 9 months? What do they need to stockpile? How do they get ready for massive distribution?
You guys have all the good questions. I'm really impressed.
Gold star.
That's a key issue that not many are thinking about. Why do I say that? Because with the entire range of adult, particularly vaccines that we have, very few countries have robust distribution platforms and systems to make it happen. I mean, look, you're probably talking, at least on a grand scale, of trying to immunize everybody on the globe with 2 doses of vaccine. We don't even have that many glass vials for vaccine. So there's got to be a ramp up in not only needles, syringes, glass vials, but all the paraphernalia. The healthcare workers need to be trained. Distribution needs to occur, and finally, then vaccine gets into arms. That's not a trivial process, as you're alluding to.